channel, and I just haven't. And I just decided, you know what, why procrastinate? Just do this tonight. When I first started this channel, I had no expectation that I was going to have my face associated with it. I had been in the entertainment industry so long that I wanted something that was just going to be helpful and based on whatever energy and words I was putting out there. And then I thought, you know what, it is getting kind of weird for people to not know the voice that's putting them to sleep and the stories and where it's coming from. And I had people start asking, why don't you make yourself a little bit more available? So that's what I'm doing with these Q&As. So welcome. I know it's a little late. I work on the weekends, so yeah, this is when I could fit it in. So let's go with the questions. Starting with Mike French. Hey Mike, what inspired you to make relaxation videos? So going back to the entertainment industry, it is incredibly glamorized, and it's not glamorous. And I was working in commercials a lot and would get called to do a commercial that shot at 1 a.m. and I'd get the call at 5 p.m. and be utterly exhausted. And I wasn't sleeping and I was anxious all the time. And I discovered actually Jodie Whiteley. So she was the first voice in person on here that I just randomly discovered and was able to sleep. I had anxiety falling asleep, staying asleep. It was all a big deal. Thinking about that alarm going off. So that was one of the issues. And then all the other life stuff. So after listening to her for a few years, there were things that were missing that I really wanted to hear. I wanted to hear stories, but also have a guided meditation and also have other cues along the way. I wanted to combine hypnosis with guided meditation with stories, because I found if someone just kept telling me to be calm, it would sometimes actually make me more anxious. So that inspired me to start doing it. I had no idea that the path that this was going to take. I initially thought that I would do traditional yoga, breathing inspired things and just incorporate anything I hear in my daily life. So if I'm on the subway and I overhear someone say something inspiring, it goes in a notebook. If I'm teaching a class, I teach cheese classes. And there's a metaphor that comes up with cheese, it's going to go in there. So I just try and pull from life as much as possible. And I think the most important thing with anyone's relaxation is that it's tailor-made. So I try to create things where you are able to transform the experience somehow that it affects you and it works for you. Okay. Next question, Holly Hughes. How do you sleep if meditation doesn't work? So I am a huge proponent of a sleep routine. I have started doing this this year because I have had a very transitional year. So I found I was not sleeping with meditation. I started adding cardio to my life, which I know a lot of you don't want to hear, but cardio exercise, get your body moving during the day. That's going to help you get tired enough to sleep. But it's different for everyone. Everyone reacts differently. It is trial and error, I think. I am not a doctor. However, I have been going to a lot of sleep seminars recently. And there was this one doctor who had so many hard set rules. He was like, you need to go to bed at 8 o'clock. You need to sleep 8 hours and then get up and have an hour of quiet time. And it was all these things. It doesn't fit for all of us. Like a lot of you guys are night workers or you have sporadic schedules. It's really great if you can follow that routine. If you can't, so be it. But have some kind of sleep routine if you can fit it in before bed. So if it's not just meditation, yoga with Adrienne's great if you want to venture into her. She has pre-sleep yoga options that I really like. Food. These doctors have been talking about don't eat a few hours before bed. For some of us, you have a fast metabolism, you might be hungry. So if you need a little snack before bed, go for it. Baths are a good thing. Also, not a doctor, but magnesium works. So either the kind that you're going to massage in your body or just I take a tablet supplement, which is easy to get. That helps me sleep. Big fan of lavender. Spray my pillowcases. Journaling before bed. Also a good way to just dump everything out of your brain if you feel like that you're overwhelmed and you need to sleep. So definitely journaling. What else? Yeah, those are the top things. Oh, light. If you can get your bedroom as dark as possible, I invested in some blackout curtains, which have been perfect. They've worked really well. I live on a very busy city street, and they basically blew up a building and have a crane outside my door that starts making noise about 6 or 7 in the morning some days. So having a room as quiet as possible and as dark as possible is really going to be helpful. Okay, next question. Joe Campbell. My question is, what is the difference between hypnosis and guided meditation? It's kind of tricky. It's a slippery slope. And you know what? You have advocates on both sides. I use certain techniques from both. So meditation enthusiasts would say meditation's been around a lot longer. Hypnotism came about as a gimmick. Do we really believe it? But, you know, hypnotism has its validity too. And there are trained hypnotists. I'm friends with a number. I haven't gone through the training just because I feel like what I'm doing is kind of an amalgamation of all these different things. So hypnosis is going to have those trigger words that are guiding you. So if someone says relax, or projecting something later. So let's say you have an issue with eating. It'll start triggering thoughts in your mind that every time you see food, you will think of something else. Like it's just, or stress. Say you have anxiety and you're nervous. So a hypnosis technique would be like, next time you're nervous, look at your hands. Look at your hands now. They're calm. When you're in a stressful situation, look at your hands. Focus on them, get calm. So it's certain triggers. Guided meditation can go a lot deeper and can be a more individualized practice where you don't need someone. I'm contributing to Insight Timer. If you guys don't have that app, it's a great app. It's a good way to listen to my meditations and like 30,000 other meditations for free. The good thing about Insight Timer is they really are helpful for creators. They're very supportive. That said, they're very strict about no hypnosis. Like if the word even hypnotic sleep story appears, they will pull it and they will not enable me to post it. So some meditation advocates are very much opposed to the hypnotherapy or that realm. But basically, there's similarities and there's differences, but it really depends what party it's coming from. That's my understanding of it. I like to, and also there's the trance state. So going into a trance state is something that's very common with hypnosis and also with guided meditations. Okay, enough on that before I put my foot in my mouth. Let's see. Dominic Montenero. Okay, I would like to hear your thoughts on dealing with depression and ways to find positive energy. Your meditations are so helpful. Thank you. Thank you. All right, I was thinking about this recently. My own personal experiences with depression really actually hit me earlier in life when I was a teenager at 19. And my solution at 19 was to move to Hawaii, which was a fabulous solution. But now there are a lot of things. I think one of the issues with depression is beating yourself up for feeling depressed. So I think self-love, self-care is one of the first ways to start. If at the very least you can get up and take a shower, go for it. At the very least, you can move your body, dance, turn on one song that makes you happy, do one thing that's just going to get your brain focused on something else, helping others. So the times in my life that I felt down, the times in my life that my career wasn't in a great place or I was having issues, the first thing that I did was I signed up to volunteer with senior citizens. Let me tell you something. Senior citizens have seen it all. They will regale you with stories. You will be surrounded by senior citizens that have lost function. They have lost many things and they are still alive, and it'll make you value what you have that's working. So even going through breakups and times in my life where I was incredibly down on myself and in general and just felt terrible, or that I would never find love or any of that, I would find myself surrounded by senior citizens. And God help me if I make it to 80 or 90 years old. I can't wait, because they have a lot of wisdom. And so on the depression thing, those are things. Also, I'm all about the gratitude list. Thank you, Oprah. I've been doing this forever. Gratitude lists also will help before going to bed. I have them going back to when I was in middle school or high school, and I recently opened one. And I was having such a hard day. And Maya Angelou always said, if you want to be grateful for something you've had a bad day, just say thank you for the bad day. Like, just be grateful for even that. Be thankful that it's over. So one of the things that I said I was grateful for was zucchini, like for a solid week, which is so absurd. But that's the baseline for me to find gratitude. If you can find something that you're thankful for and happy for, it's going to help you with depression. So that's what I got. I mean, also letting positive people in, open your heart. There are positive people everywhere. And the more that you seek them out, you will find them and they will surround you and you will have a tribe. And trust me, a tribe is going to help you get out of depression. Okay. Once again, I'm not a doctor, so these are just my life tips. Really, everything has to be customized to you. As I go to all these seminars and I'm listening to all these people in the medical profession talk about things, at the end of the day, what works for you? And if you need to try everything, try everything. But you need to find what's going to help you. Okay. Nutmeg. Okay. Do you ever listen to your own meditations to relax, or is listening to yourself kind of weird? Let's start with that one. Yeah, it's weird. But there's one meditation I wrote that I am able to listen to without being completely weirded out. That is the Stormy Night meditation. And I don't know why. I think it's the sound. So you guys out there that love those thunder and lightning sounds, they work for me. Sometimes, especially now, because I'm so focused on creating quality stuff, I get stuck on pronunciation or words that I wish I didn't said. So yes, I can listen to my own stuff to relax, and I do try because I want to experience it as you're experiencing it. But sometimes the sound of my own voice gets in the way, and it happens for a lot of people in my life. I have a lot of friends and coworkers that will listen to stuff, and then others that are like, I can't get past the fact that it's you. Okay. My favorite ways to wind down, also from Little Nutmeg. Yoga, dance, music, glass of wine, being around friends, ocean. I'm a Pisces, so get me near water. And hanging out with my dog and cat. Those help me calm down. And also, watching vintage television. So anything before social media and all of this makes me happy. All right, I have one more question, and I'm sorry I can't see your guys' questions. I'm going to figure this out. There's some glitch with the YouTube streaming. I'm going to have to figure it out, but there's something wrong with their control room, so I had to download the app and come from my phone, which doesn't let me see questions. Last question from Ali. Would be nice if you could talk about lucid dreaming, how to reach it. Lucid dreaming. Super cool thing. I think a lot of us had a lot more success doing it as children when we had no idea what we were doing. Isn't it funny how that works? It's like that E.E. Cummings poem where he's like, down they forgot as up they grew. So we forget as we grow sometimes. Best time to start lucid dreaming or ways to be more effective at it. I personally think if you're willing to do this, is set an alarm and go snoozing in the morning. If you have a tracker, I have a Fitbit Charge, but anything that tracks your sleep, if you can see in your sleep cycle where you start to go into REM a lot, that's going to be a good time for you to try out lucid dreaming. Maybe even, tune into a meditation if that helps you. But definitely when you're in that cycle, okay, and I don't want to just keep endorsing magnesium, but for me, I have magnesium dreams, I call them, and my ability to lucid dream is always affected when I take magnesium before going to bed. So I have times that are my happiest. If I wake up, when the sun comes up and go back to sleep, I will be able to lucid dream. And I mean, it's cool. You're basically controlling what's happening. I heard another technique for lucid dreaming. It's helpful to try and find yourself in a mirror in a dream. So you just, as you're dreaming, like your goal is to get to a mirror to see yourself. I have never successfully done that, but I have been able to lucid dream frequently. Also nap time. So nap time, if you are like me, I live in a city. If you live somewhere where there's some kind of background noise that kind of just keeps bringing you to the present moment, then that's going to help. And thank you, Ben. My friend Benjamin just texted me that he tuned in. So I'm so sorry you guys can't ask any more questions. If you are not already, I am on other social media channels, which I think will be a lot easier to reach out to because YouTube does not make this streaming very friendly with their issues. So Instagram, Michelle Sanctuary. Facebook, you can find Michelle Sanctuary, and also on Twitter. Also, I'm partnering with new apps, so I recommend checking these apps out. One of them is Wysa, W-Y-S-A. They have talk therapy options, life coach, and it's really helpful. I tried their talked text, where basically you're texting Wysa, who's like your helpful friend. It uses AI, and it's remarkably helpful. If you're someone who doesn't write journal, it's also a good way to do it because it's basically like a texting journal that keeps track of your progress. And I am working with Insight Timer, and I'm announcing this a little prematurely, but there's going to be a release this week. I'm working with the Slumber app. So try those as well. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, I'm sorry I couldn't take any live questions, but I'm glad I had all these questions in advance from you who couldn't make it, and this will be available tomorrow, so you can tune in. So thank you all, and have some sweet dreams. And if you have any suggestions for some wintry sleep meditations and stories, I am going to be focused on that for the rest of the year. So have a good night. Bye.